Good morning. Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul. We are here today to say some nice things about ourselves. And what a cool crew that we have here this morning. Good morning, Lauren and Dan. Good morning, Charlotte. Good morning, Shauna, Amanda. It is good to see you guys here today. Thanks so much for coming by, checking out the wake up call this morning. Like always, what we're going to do is I'm going to pull a card off the top of the deck, and I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on that card. And then what we're going to do is we are going to say out loud, I am that affirmation. As we say these words out loud, we are convincing ourselves. There's an old saying in sales, which is that if the salesperson says something, then the person who is, the prospect or the lead tends to ignore it or tends to doubt it. But if they say it, it's true. And so the art of sales is to get them to say it, because as they say it, it becomes true in their own mind. And so that's exactly what we do here. I'm not selling a product. All I'm doing is selling everybody on the idea that you are awesome, that you're an amazing person, that you are full of positive and amazing attributes, and that really this world is a better place because you're in it. Because it is. This world is a better place because you're in it. So yeah, we're going to do that today. Question of the day was, what is your favorite season? And I got a couple different answers here. So it looks like summer is Amanda's favorite season. Let's see. I know Lauren also likes summer. So Lauren, Amanda, y'all can hang out in the summertime. Dan is Brenda Jean's a summer girl too. Let's see here. And Dan likes spring. It's warming up, but no bugs yet. Absolutely. Charlotte also is a spring person. It's interesting. I was talking to somebody, another one of my friends, and they said that their favorite season is winter because they very much enjoy being all bundled up, and they just like the winter fashion, and they just enjoy just being able to have a whole bunch of snuggles in the winter time, snuggling up with people that they love and care about. And it got me thinking. I lived in the tropics for many years. Probably about 15 years of my adult life was spent in tropical countries or tropical climates. And so in the tropics, you don't really have seasons. I mean, you kind of do. Like in Costa Rica, we had two big seasons. We had either the rainy season and the not so rainy season, or the green season and the blue season. The green season being when everything was very, very green because it rained for 12 hours a day, and the blue season being because you saw blue sky every single day. It was just drop dead gorgeous. But it got me thinking about what are my favorite seasons? And I'm actually a bit of I'm a spring person myself. I really like to hear the birds coming back. I like to see the new growth. For me, it is symbolic of the fact that life goes through cycles, and that sometimes, the coldness will always give way to the springtime. That is the covenant that we have with the seasons. Anyway, yeah, so that is my favorite. I'm a springtime guy. I love the spring. I love to motorcycle in the fall, and I'm pretty much never a winter fan. I like to visit the winter. Visiting winter is wonderful. Living in winter for a full 3 months, I'm not sure about that. So anyways, those are the question of the day. Now let's talk about the card that we're going to pull today. I am going to pull a card. And I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on that card. We're going to say together out loud, I am that affirmation. And as we do that, we are speaking life into ourselves. So let's have some fun today by saying that today, I am informed. I am informed. I seek to understand before responding. So I am informed. Are you informed? You are informed. You seek to understand before responding. And that is something that I think all of us struggle with a little bit. But I'm going to write that in the comments. I am informed. I seek to understand before responding. Oh, thanks, Amanda, that you love this card. The reason that the imagery on this card, of course, I chose an observatory, and space is one of those things that we know a lot about. But even though we know a lot about it, and we can understand like the very predictable movements of celestial bodies, and even send out probes to understand a little bit more about what they're made of and how they work. Nevertheless, it's definitely something that we still know almost nothing about. So I am informed. I seek to understand before responding. And I don't know about you, but I know that I have some folks in my world who I swear that every time I talk to them, it's it's really it seems to me like they don't necessarily understand what I have to say. It's like they don't exactly seek to understand before they talk. And so I'll say something, and then their response very clearly indicates to me that they didn't truly understand what I had to say. And so, when I chat with these folks, I have to just give myself some grace and kind of explain things a bit slower, and also give them some grace and realize that perhaps, perhaps they just didn't understand what I had to say before they responded. It's not that they don't respect me or say anything like that. It's primarily that they just don't entirely understand what I have to say, and then they're responding to what they think I said. But surely you've met people like this in the world where they respond to you prior to really understanding what you were saying. And so we're informed people. We collect the relevant data, and we understand the totality of what other people are saying to us. We understand a lot about the situations that we are responding to. And that's the difference between reaction and response. Reaction is, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Thanks, Isaac Newton, for giving us that one. But for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. But the reactions in life are not always the best. The fact is that it's so much better to respond. It's so much better to recognize that there was an input in our lives. Think about it for even just a couple seconds. Even just like 1 or 2 seconds is enough to help people feel like like they are being respected, that they're being listened to. And so I seek to understand before responding. And understanding takes some time because our first impressions are always based on our internal biases, on our internal, our internalized thought patterns that are oftentimes just mental shortcuts that we've been taking since we were young. So as we become more and more informed, we understand before responding. And being informed is about gathering the information, it's about gathering the data, and then it's about giving ourselves the gift of a couple of seconds before we respond. Just giving us that gift. And if our response, if we know in our hearts that the response that we're going to do is not going to be a very kind one, then we owe it to ourselves and to the people of to the people who are talking with us. We have to we give them the respect that they deserve. Shauna says, I had to say no comment yesterday to somebody since no response was warranted. Yeah, that absolutely. No comment is definitely a response, but it's one that's like, hey, I don't know exactly how to respond to this, and so I'm not going to respond badly. I'm not going to respond in a way that is potentially hurtful or harmful. So we are informed people. We seek to understand before responding. And so this card is it's really our rallying call today to make sure that as we are put into situations today in life that we've never been in before, because let's be real, our lives, each and every day of our lives is unique, and we will be in situations today that we've never been in before. Let's make sure that we gather all of the correct information in order to respond in a way that is loving, that is caring, that there's really a credit to ourselves and to the people that we are responding to. Because pretty much anytime that there is a response is typically in the context of relationship with people. And that's really what life is about. So I am informed. I seek to understand before responding. I want to say thank you guys so much for coming by to the wake up call this morning. It is always nice when I see all of you guys coming by and just having some fun with me. And so, yeah, there you go. Amanda says, I'm around people that I don't know, and we have very different outlooks on life. It's an exercise to seek understanding when I don't agree at all. Yeah, exactly. So this actually brings up a fun memory for me, Amanda. So back when I did tour guiding over on Maui, one of the big faux pas that a tour guide can do is that when somebody in a group is expressing a very strong opinion, is to agree with that opinion. Because in my case, there were always about 25 people on my tours. And just because one person thinks something doesn't mean that everybody on the tour thinks something. It's just that the one person is being most vocal about it. And so I actually came up with the way of responding to their whatever it was that they were saying with, "Oh, I understand where you're coming from," even if I didn't necessarily even though I didn't actually necessarily agree with them, at least I understood them. At least I understood. So I understood that that their opinions were based on their own personal life experiences. But I watched actually one of my coworkers who certainly had strong opinions of his very own, and I watched as he was on a tour with a group of people, and one of them was expressing opinions that were similar to my coworker's opinions, and so my coworker was very much in agreement with those opinions. And we found out later that half the other people on the bus were on the other side of the spectrum and totally disagreed with those opinions. And let me tell you that guy did not get great reviews for that tour because they expressed them. And so it's so much easier just to say that we understand. Understanding does not imply agreement. It simply implies understanding. So, all righty, guys. And it was Maya's informing everyone to come vote for the school tax in Dawsonville. Come see me at advanced voting. You know that I am going to vote in the Dawsonville elections, Maya. I actually got my my driver's license, my local driver's license, for the first time in my life. I'm actually voting in the jurisdiction where I live. Oftentimes I'm voting in the jurisdiction that I used to live because I just never cared all that much about getting my government documents updated. Anyways, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much for coming by and having some fun with me. We are informed people, so let's go be informed. Let's go be informed about the things that we're voting for politically. Let's go be informed about the about the projects that we're doing. Let's be informed about the best way of responding to the folks who come to us today with their various problems. Let's just be informed people and understand before responding. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow at 9 a.m. I will be back. I appreciate you being here. And this is your daily reminder that I love you, I care about you, and that I believe all these things that I say about you. I am surrounded by an amazing group of folks, and you are among them. So I'll talk to you tomorrow. Until then, aloha from paradise.